Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, we have the Senate Minority Leader, who also happens to be running for governor in '06, plus a former assemblyman, now turned lobbyist. Ray Hagar has the rundown.
You know, we wonder if Senator Dina Titus will drop out of the governor's race in lieu of another race. And we wonder about Josh Griffin. Why did he give up such a promising career as an assemblyman? Sam?
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Scott Bensing, Larry Matheis, and Dick Gammick. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
This is one of Sierra Power's main generating plants. It's right next door to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. These plants provide all the clean, reliable power that businesses need. TRI has 3 independent power generation facilities on site. For sensitive manufacturing companies and high-tech firms, this benefit is invaluable. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you. For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping. During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program lobbyist Josh Griffin, former assemblyman. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
It's good to be back here.
Yeah, indeed. And your dad, former mayor of Reno.
Yeah,
and a good friend.
That's right. I've been bragging about him now that I've been coming back to Reno a little bit more often since I've been working in Carson, bragging about how great things are going. He's moved out of town, but
and
it's
the huge
fun to
news
watch.
that Cabela's is
Isn't that
buying
exciting?
38.5 acres from Boomtown is going to revolutionize Reno with 4.4 million visitors per year coming in.
It's great what it's going to mean to the airport, what it's going to mean to the overall tourist economy here is really exciting. I'm just proud of this town, and it's fun to see all the good stuff. So.
Okay, well, now you know the show isn't about being nice, so let's get into the issues here.
Okay, good.
You know, you had a very promising political career going as an assemblyman.
Well, thank you.
Why'd you drop out?
Well, I appreciate your saying that. I don't know if that's a universal opinion, but it was really hard to make a living as an assemblyman. The pay is not overwhelmingly generous or lucrative.
You could get a job as a consultant?
I have 4 little kids. My wife stays home. I'm a pretty big guy. I eat for 2, so that's 7 mouths to feed on a legislator's salary, and that's hard to do. So it was ultimately a tough decision. I loved being in the legislature. The first day of session, I just sat in the gallery in the back and just sort of watched the proceedings, and I missed it because it was a lot of fun. But I get to stay involved in the process. I get to talk about a lot of issues, and it's a little bit more fruitful for the family. So.
You know, Josh, there's been some in the last 2 years, there's been some controversies rock the university system.
Oh, and we should point out that Josh represents the university system along with Tim Crowley and Gene Porter.
Right, one of the chief lobbyists for the university system. We've had the issue with Mr. Remington down in southern Nevada. We've had the issue with the scandal about the dead sheep at UNR, and there'll probably be a scandal to be named later. These kind of issues, do they hurt the ability to fund the university system through the legislature?
You know, I'll tell you, with what interim chancellor and hopefully soon-to-be permanent chancellor Jim Rogers has been able to do, I think has been able to put so much faith and confidence into what the university system is doing, and to give legislators and the public some faith that we're building, that all the people that have been working in the university system up until now have built very quietly a wonderful series of institutions, UNR, UNLV, soon-to-be Nevada State College, all the community college systems dealing with growth, the challenges that are really facing higher ed, which are unprecedented in history. I think that what he's been able to do is to address all these issues. I don't think it does hurt. I mean, you know, it's a big organization. When things happen, we need to address them. I think that is happening, and we need to be able to just continue to go out and put this faith that this is so critical to our communities and so critical to our economy and so critical to our families. And I think that we've really been able to do that. There are some amazing people that work for the university and community college.
What about the scandals? Are those going to hurt?
I think it kind of, I don't know if that means that they're going to hurt. I mean, I think everything that's happening, I think they're being addressed. There's different procedures in place on lobbying, for example, as we know. But I think, again, if you look at what sort of has happened over the last 6 to 8 months in restoring that confidence, I think that we're in great shape to move forward. And when things pop up, you refer to it as a scandal to be named. I think that's a somewhat cynical approach. That doesn't mean that you're wrong, but I don't.
Not Ray.
I don't think that's from my standpoint, the appropriate way to view the higher education system. I think it's an amazing group of people that are at work there.
Let me disclose, as always, that Jim Rogers, who is the interim chancellor, is also the owner of Sunbelt Broadcasting, that owns the stations that this program is broadcast on. How are you going to deal with people like Christian Giuliani, who is so vitriolic against the problems of the university system?
Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think she has concerns, which any legislator should have concerns about where resources go. And I think I have a great deal of personal respect for Chris. I think most people in the system do. I think she's very bright and she has issues. What you do is you talk with her, you answer her questions, and you ask for support, and you let the chips fall where they may. It's there's 63 people with 63 different opinions, and our job is to make sure that we're running. When I say our job, is to be able to communicate that what the university system is doing right now, that they have that confidence that what the administrators and campus presidents and the chancellor, interim chancellor, and the assistant chancellors that are really on the front lines, that what they're doing is just amazing work, and it's so critical, and that we just need to be able to be right there answering those questions, and let her, let those decisions be made when they need to be made.
The chancellor wanted it that all the lobbying will be done by you guys. Is that actually happening, or are the different colleges and universities lobbying as well?
I'll tell you, up until now, it has been a great relationship that we've all been able to develop. We as contract lobbyists, do coordinate the lobbying activities, and we look to the campuses who have all kinds of tremendous legislative relationships for support, information. When we need to go talk to them, we work with the campus lobbyists, and they have all the research, and they can answer the questions. A lot of these folks, as you know, have tremendous relationships that are certainly that go back in time, and we need to use those and be able to answer the questions where there's that trust. So far it's been being executed exactly as I think it was planned.
Josh,
we're out of, sorry, buddy,
okay.
You got to come back. We're out of time. We want you back, all right?
Okay. All right.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. See you guys. Thanks for
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Reno
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Your best value in sight is here for you to see. From frames to lenses to eye exams, you're covered A to Z. Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
Davis Optical Centers, with 2 locations in Reno and Sparks.
Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
When you need a new employee, how can you be sure who you're really hiring? A background investigation by Employer Links will uncover criminal records, verify the applicant's education, check their credit history and Social Security verification. An investigation will research professional licenses and driver's licenses and let you know why they're unemployed. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
And now we welcome to the program the Minority Leader of the Senate, Dina Titus. Welcome to the program, Dina.
Hi, Sam. Hello.
Pleasure to have you here. Okay, the first question I got to ask you is, with you and Richard Perkins both wanting to run for governor here, or running for governor, is this starting to overwhelm the legislature?
Oh, I don't think so. We're trying to keep gubernatorial politics out of what's going on here. We got too many important issues to get resolved.
Well, Senator, recently there was an issue between Speaker Perkins and Congressman Jim Gibbons. They had a flap over allowing a 12-year-old girl to sing God Bless America before Gibbons' speech before the legislative body. You were away from this controversy. It seemed so trivial, but it just kind of mushroomed into an atomic bomb kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What was your take on it?
Well, I think Richard unfortunately fell right in the hands of Jim Gibbons. Why would you ever prohibit a young girl from singing America the Beautiful? It wasn't like it took up much time to do that. So that was an unfortunate situation for him and gave Gibbons a lot of fuel, I think.
Okay, Senator, what do you need to accomplish yourself in this legislative session to set you up with a good base to run for governor?
Well, I'm just continuing with the policies that I've done in the past, and I think those are good policies that benefit everybody across the state. And certainly, like last time I worked on saving Red Rock for development, this time I've got a measure to do state parks across the state and also Walker Lake. The whole property tax issue is right in line with my position last session when I fought very hard not to raise sales tax or property tax because that's what everybody has to pay. So my agenda isn't just aimed at being governor. It's a continuation of things that I've felt very strongly about all along.
Have Democratic leaders tried to get you to run for another office apart from governor?
Well, it's interesting. The boys have supported Perkins in the beginning, but I think they're pragmatic. When they look at who's going to be ahead in the polls, I think they will let things play out on their own. Certainly, Democrats don't want to have a primary. No party likes to fight in the primary and then have to fight again in the general.
Okay, Senator, maybe if you would for 1 minute take yourself out of this race, and we have so many other people running for governor. Well, maybe Bob Beers, Gibbons,
Lorraine
Perkins,
Hunt.
Lorraine Hunt, Sammy Sosa, a bunch of people. Take yourself out of there and give me odds on who has the best chance of winning that.
Well, that's impossible to take myself out of that, Ray, but I can tell you that right now I think it's up for grabs, and that's one of the reasons I'm interested in running. We are not a red state like some people would say because we went for Bush, because all down the ticket Democrats got elected. Also, the registration throughout the state is virtually even. It's an open seat with no incumbent, so that also gives lots of people more opportunities. But I do think what will count in this is issues that people can relate to, people here at home, what's important in Nevada. And they tend to make independent choices, who they like and who they think will fight for them.
Let's turn our attention in the remaining minutes here to your tax proposal. You're proposing a freeze. What's the advantage of your freeze over the other two proposals?
Well, I think in the first place it's very simple for the public to understand. It gives immediate relief. The local government still have some flexibility because they get the growth money and they can raise the rates within certain limits. It's very interesting that my greatest ally in this is Lynn Hetrick, so politics do make strange bedfellows.
Well, Senator, is there any way that you can come out a winner in this property tax debate heading into the gubernatorial election?
Well, I think I'm already a winner because the public really likes the freeze, and they see that I'm fighting for their interest. And this affects the person whose property has not gone up much and the person who's gone up quite a bit, like those at Lake Tahoe. So I'm going to continue to fight for the freeze, and if there's some kind of compromise that is close to the freeze, I think I'll be a winner. But it's not me that's the winner. It'll be the people of Nevada who are the winners.
You've been leading the charge on ethics reform. Can you ever really legislate ethics?
Well, people know what's ethical. You know, you get taught that in Sunday school when you're little. It's something you don't want to see on the front page of the paper. And sometimes it's hard to draw a line between ethics and legal. Something might be unethical, but it's not illegal. There are some things you can do, though. Some have symbolic value to tell the public you care about ethics, but some are real, just like Stephen Horsford's bill to say you can't use public employees to work on your campaign, or my bill to say that you can't double dip, you have to take a leave of absence without pay to serve in the legislature. Those are real things.
Would it be okay to take a leave of absence and take vacation pay?
Well, I think it's cleaner if you just cut the tie and don't take any. Now, that's something that, you know, you could listen to, but once you start making exceptions, then you get back into the policy of different entities having different approaches. I think it's better if everybody has one across-the-board policy, and a leave of absence is the best way to do that.
Senator Titus, it's a pleasure having you here as always. You're welcome back anytime.
Well, I hope I can come in person next time.
The crew would love it. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Is Nevada Newsmakers.
It really was a matter of confusion, and I also had the stress on my wife was considerable too, as she ran around talking to the right people and trying to track down resources that would improve my health and make me independent again.
One-stop access for caregivers, NevadaCareConnection.org.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The Resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
If it's hot, it's here at the Pepper Mill. The Pepper Mill has over 500 of the hottest video theme slots. And with the $100,000 Winter Video Theme Slot Fest, there's no smarter time to play these winning machines. Win your share of the money with $2,000 random cash giveaways every Monday and $5,000 drawings every Friday. And new players can get up to $100 free play.
The slots that rock are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you winning?
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
And on the Power Pundit panel today, it's a great one as always. Dick Gammick, the Washoe County District Attorney, never has anything to say. We've got Larry Matheis, Executive Director of the Nevada State Medical Association, and Scott Bensing, who's Chief of Staff to Senator John Ensign. Welcome to all of you. Let's start with you, Scott. Boy, between Senator Ensign and Senator Reed, you guys are hitting them out of the ballpark lately. Southern Nevada Lands Act looks like the government is not going to be able to get to steal that money back.
We feel hopeful today. In fact, we'll pass a budget that will not contain any of the administration's proposals. And it's the first, it'll be a 15-round fight, but the first few rounds go to us. We feel good about it.
Good. Well, and also I want to throw in there that all of a sudden on Yucca Mountain, it seems that Orrin Hatch has suddenly moved to Nevada's camp.
I'm not so sure. I think we're in a better position than we've ever been, both through the legal fight and for those folks who've been following it. I think the Washoe Reservation in Utah, who has been contracting privately with a number of nuclear entities, may be approved here real soon by the NRC, and that waste could be going in an interim basis to Utah. And we've always said once the waste goes somewhere on an interim basis, it'll be there to stay. So
but you don't think that Senator Hatch and the Utah delegation is now moving closer to your camp?
I'm still not so sure. Senator Hatch and Senator Bennett have said that they believe the one way to keep it out of Utah is to continue to process or continue to build the repository at Yucca Mountain. So too early to tell.
Larry, what do you think about Congressman Gibbons' idea of taking 35% of that Southern Nevada Lands Act money and putting it towards education?
Well, I think he's put together two hot topics, and at least for conversation, I think it's not a bad thing. Clearly, the challenges to the education system in the state are huge, and funding that is a major issue. Clearly, the issue of how to dispose of lands and how to use the money is an issue. I think, for debate purpose, I think it's a good idea to link hot items together and then see where they go.
If something like that were to happen, does that help Congressman Gibbons' image at this point? Dick?
I don't know. Again, we're back to education. I'm still having a tough time wrestling with this because I think the first thing we need to identify in the state are what are the needs, not what we'd like to have, what we think we should have or anything. What are the needs? Because the one thing that I kind of do this too when I hear that kind of proposal is it seems everything we're doing, the legislature, any extra money, any money at all, we're channeling it all to education. And I need to see the need. And I'm pro-education, folks, before you start sending emails. Absolutely. I think people should be educated, but I'm not so sure we have that defined in this state. And it just always seems to be a problem.
What did you think about Andre Agassi coming up here and his testimony about his charter school and the accomplishments that they've had? At $7,000 per head.
I think Andre Agassi has a good reputation. I think he does a lot of good stuff that he tries to get together. Charter schools right now are still on the, are they or aren't they? I mean, they're still up for testing, and I'm not so, jury's still out. Let me put it that way. I'm not so sure we're really solid on that yet either. Education just doesn't seem to be real solid in a lot of areas.
Well, you know, they have all these proposals to help education. But at this point, they are still proposals, and as we speak right now, the system lacks a lot of funding. It could use money from this Lands Act. It could use money from a lottery, but it's not there yet.
But how do you know that? That's what I'm saying. What are the needs? Well, one of the best things I ever saw done with education is what Washoe County did a couple of years ago under Jim Hagar, and that was to take the bonds that were expiring and renew them without going back to the voters. No extra money was required from the taxpayers, and yet it financed $280-something million.
But Dick, the needs are there. They're outlined specifically in the Superintendent's Invest program. And the number one need, according to the superintendents, is full-day kindergarten, which may or may not be true, but there's also issues like educating English language learners, pay raises for teachers, et cetera, et cetera. There's about 13 specific points that are laid out.
Okay, that was the whole point I was trying to make, Ray. You just said number one is full-day kindergartens, which may or may not be needed.
Well, that's my own
The
opinion.
whole, but it's being done by a lot of people is what I'm saying. I'm not picking on Ray Hagar. I'm just saying that this whole thing's being debated. What are the needs in this state to meet the education challenges we have?
The needs are to do a hell of a lot better than we're doing. I mean, we have just unacceptable dropout rates. We have unacceptably low rates of going into college. We have unacceptable results on tests. I think that's what we have to focus on, is what programs, how to prioritize to improve those things. I mean, we shouldn't be settling for where we're at. in terms of the outcome of our educational enterprises, and we should be improving them. And I think as you take actions, you evaluate which ones work and which ones don't. You dump the ones that don't and try to expand on the ones that do. But we start at a low point, and we need to raise it.
What do you think, Scott?
Well, and I don't know that anybody is content with the current system, but I think, at least I think what Dick's saying is we've got to be able to establish that money is not necessarily proportional to favorable outcome. That the more money you spend doesn't get you what you want out of the backside. I don't know about all-day kindergarten. I don't know how that makes people, what that does to graduation rates, what that does to reading in third grade. I don't know that we have those answers, and until we do, we should be careful about just playing up to what the national average for education spending is. Washington, D.C. spends more money than anybody else per student in public schools, and they have the absolute worst schools in the country.
And that's where we got to leave. Try to go average.
That's where we got to leave. They can keep going. We got to go. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
This is one of Sierra Power's main generating plants. It's right next door to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. These plants provide all the clean, reliable power that businesses need. TRI has 3 independent power generation facilities on site. For sensitive manufacturing companies and high-tech firms, this benefit is invaluable. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Value in sight is here for you to see. From frames to lenses to eye exams, you're covered A to Z. Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
Davis Optical Centers, with 2 locations in Reno and Sparks.
Davis Optical, your best value in sight.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
When you need a new employee, how can you be sure who you're really hiring? A background investigation by Employer Links will uncover criminal records, verify the applicant's education, check their credit history and Social Security verification. An investigation will research professional licenses and driver's licenses and let you know why they're unemployed. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
And thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers today. As always, we love to get your emails at newsmakers@kvbc.com and newsmakers@krnv.com. Coming on the program tomorrow, we've got an exclusive interview with State Senator Barbara Sagaski. She was a state senator who was at the center of a brouhaha because she was consulting for KVBC in Las Vegas to their newsroom. We'll have the details for you and a full interview with her on the next Nevada Newsmakers coming up tomorrow. We'll see you then.